So, what are the relevant questions you ask when you want to get married in Central America? In Central America, basically, once you find your significant other meaning that you have your fiance, your girlfriend, you know, you met that somebody special that you may be thinking about. Tied out, of course, and your spouse, your future spouses. It could be from, Panama, Costa Rica, who knows? I mean, it could be from Honduras, El Salvador, or Guatemala, Belize, where Honduras is a Spanish-speaking country, of course. And there are some requirements that you need to follow, of course, to fill out those requirements. In Tegucigalpa, for instance, if you see this page that I'm going to show in a moment, one of the requirements is, of course, to have a valid passport. If you're an expat, marrying in Central America, of course, the common, requirements of one is a passport, valid passport, for at least 6 months before. So, in this case, this is an official document from the municipality of Tegucigalpa, Honduras, where you can see it. And if you see my finger, my thumb right here, right? My thumb. The cost of getting married in Honduras, in Tegucigalpa, the capital city, is 350 lempiras, which is in dollars, in American dollars, is $14. Of course, just the month of August. Of course, if you're marrying in the different month of the year, you can end up paying a little more than $14, a little more than $350. So this is the amount. What you see in orange here, where I have my thumb. That's one of the requirements, of course, pay that fee. And of course, that's the other numbers you see down below here is the account number where you make a deposit for that, the marriage that you're taking place, in which you are involved with your significant other, of course. Other requirements listed here are basic requirements in which you have to bring your affidavit of that you are legally capable of marrying someone in Latin America, or when you go to the Philippines as an expert, it's the same basic requirement. Meaning, if you are divorced, you bring the affidavit of divorce from the county, from the state where you reside in the states. You're the county clerk. You do the apostille, which is the county clerk office does it. Like in the case of New York State, in Riverdale, there's a city called Riverdale in Suffolk County. That's where you do your apostille very much in the New York City area, of course. And then, if you live in a different state, of course, you can do the proper arrangement to have your affidavit apostille. Do the apostille from the county clerk office. And of course, when you bring it here in Central America, in this case, you have a notarized translation. Notarized translation in the city where you're gonna marry, of course. Basically, the same requirements. Just being able legally capable of marrying. That if you're single, of course, you don't need that such an affidavit, of course. If you're divorced or a widow, of course, and then very much in Central America, in Honduras particular, or El Salvador, there are no LGBTQ marriage. There's no marriage of same-sex marriage. By saying that, and the legal, capacity in which a Honduran girlfriend or fiance can legally marry you as an older, of course, you need to be 21 years or older than 21 years to be able to marry, of course. And your fiance, in this case, if your fiance has 19 years old, she's still a minor, or 18 years old, even if you have 18 and a half years old, 20 years old, need a parental consent, meaning the parents need to be present with a document, affidavit, of consent, signatures of them, 2 more witnesses besides the parents, and not just the affidavit of the parental consent, but they need to be present too at the ceremony, at the wedding ceremony that's been performed. In some, in the States, you can go to Vegas or you can marry the same day. The requirements are very minimum. Not just like a valid ID, you can use a driver's license or certain, and then, of course, very minimum, in any state. and the minimum age of marriage, of course, 18 years old with no parental consent. But in here in Honduras, the minimum age to be married is 18 years old. But if the fiance or your future wife is 19 years old, they need a parental consent. So that's one of the requirements. It used to be the minimum age to marry. It used to be 16 years old until 2017. But that has been changed. It was changed. The Honduran Congress approved a new law requiring minimum age for marriage to be 18 years old. And then another requirement is, of course, you have assets, separation of assets. What they call a prenuptial agreement, which is very much valid in every state. Even in the States, in the Western country, you have to need. I mean, if you want to, of course, that's a volunteer. The requirement that you need to have a separation of assets and bank accounts and the properties and such. Then you have to of course, have a prenuptial agreement. Another requirement, basic requirement, in Central America is the blood testing. The blood testing, of course, at a facility approved by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Office, Ministry of Foreign Affairs Office. That's been approved, of course, and the municipality. It's the mayor's office that marries you. That's the legal marriage, in Honduras. The municipalities are in control of the civil union, civil union in this case, marriages and civil union, of course. So it's the mayor's office that's marriage. It doesn't. A private lawyer cannot marry, just like in the States. An attorney can legally declare you husband and wife, and that that could be registered of the country, the city or village office. But in Honduras, it's the mayor's office. Legally, you have to register with the mayor's office after of course, paying the fee that I just mentioned to you. And of course, the blood testing that I was talking to you, I was just telling you, there is a blood testing done that needs to be done for you, for both actually, for the fiance and for the husband, for the future husband and for the future wife. There's a blood testing done just in case if there's any infectious disease, and also the blood testing serves for in the case that your future wife is pregnant. It has to be on the file of the municipality files that she was pregnant at the moment that was declared. That has been your marriage certificate is being issued from the proper office, of course. So it needs to be in the files. So even though the each municipality in Honduras performs marriages, of course there is a national registrar's office. It's a little bureaucracy right there. I'm mentioning a couple of things right. That sounds a little bureaucratic. I mean the institution that declares you husband and wife, in this case, that marries you legally, which is the mayor or the secretary of the council, or the city council, of course, that is legally able to perform that marriage, so that ceremony, of course. But the institution that's going to issue your marriage certificate is called a National Registrar's Office. Okay, National Registrar's Office, Registro Nacional de las Personas. Translated in Spanish, which is a different institution. It's an independent, autonomous institution that three weeks after the marriage has been performed, so that's going to be issuing your marriage certificate. It doesn't take that long, 3 weeks the most. I got it mine in a couple of weeks. So now, right now, I'm talking about the capital city, Tegucigalpa, in which it only costs $14, 350 lempiras, which is the currency in Honduras. $14 in the month of August, and this has been called mass marriages, in which 400 couples, agree to meet, at the mayor's office building, the municipality building. It's mass wedding actually. It's one ceremony and declares all these couples marriage and wife, which is very much, cheap. Of course, if you don't want to marry you marry any month of the year, of course, in January, February, March, or any month of the year, of course, you could still pay a little less than $50. That's the fee, less than $50. So I'll just mention the special offer, like a discount price that to get married in Honduras, which is $14 in the capital city. So let's talk about it here. in this office if they're going to give me some information. This is the municipality of Santa Rosa de Lima in the province of San Miguel in El Salvador. So we're going to compare these two countries, in Honduras and El Salvador. Right now, this is the where I'm doing, in this video, right? Where I'm filming these videos, the city of Santa Rosa de Lima in El Salvador. And right now, I'm in the municipality office of the mayor's office of Santa Rosa del Salvador. Let's see what they say about the marriages and the requirements that needs to get done. Buenas tardes, señor. ¿Cómo está? Sí, ¿cómo está? Solo quería preguntarle una preguntita sobre los... ¿Le puedo preguntar? Está bien, no quiere que le puedo preguntar fuera de cámara. ¿Sí? Solo sobre... Solo quería saber sobre los matrimonios, solo los requerimientos para casarse en el municipio, ¿cuáles son? Solo si me da un listadito así. Un listadito así de los requerimientos, no tiene que hablar siquiera, solo que si fueron los requerimientos para casarse en Santa Rosa de Lima, en este municipio, y para locales y para extranjeros, o para un extranjero que tenga su futura esposa, pues, ¿me entiendes? O su novia, que sea salvadoreña o que sea, o que la esposa sea extranjera y no tiene nada, realmente no tiene ni que hablar, pues, ¿no? O sea, si no quisiera ponerse en cámara, solo los requerimientos. Bueno, muchas gracias. Thankfully. So he's very kind and nice in this municipality. And they're gonna have, he doesn't want to be on camera, of course, but he's gonna, give me the requirements. He said he doesn't want to be on camera, but this is municipality of Santa Rosa de Lima. So the legal requirements to marry in this municipality. So hopefully he just take a few minutes. So we will see what happens. Not too many customers in this place. 3 or 4 customers. I mean, in the this is the lobby area. They call it secretaria, which is the secretaria is the reception basically. As I can see here, the reception area, in which they're gonna give me some information, very very kind and nice, but they don't wanna be on camera. So we respect that, but hopefully everything goes well with the requirements. Take a few minutes. They're still working. They're going to the files, and hopefully everything goes well. And so what's the weather kind of? This is Santa Rosa de Lima. The municipality of Santa Rosa de Lima is in the province of San Miguel. This city, Santa Rosa de Lima, is 25 miles from the Honduran-Salvadoran border. It's called Amatillo. That's the border of El Amatillo. So it only took the cost for the coming from the border, of El Amatillo, this Honduran and El Salvador border. It only costs $1 in public transportation. It costs only $1, which is in a bus basically. That's it took like 35 minutes, close to like 35 minutes or 40 minutes to get here. This earlier that I just arrived here. So it's very cheap really to travel in these countries. Like from the capital city of Tegucigalpa to the Salvadoran border, it took 4 hours, and the cost of the fare. The bus fare was 120 lempiras, which is $4.75. It takes only $4.75 to travel from the capital city, Tegucigalpa, Honduras, to the El Salvador border, and from there to here, to this municipality, it takes only $1. So it takes like $5.50 to travel all the way from the capital city, Tegucigalpa, Honduras, to Santa Rosa de Lima. So I have the guide minute here, and then I have the requirements right here. Estos son los requisitos. Que bueno, muchísimas gracias. No, ¿me puede dar su nombre? No se puede. Eduardo. His name is, ¿puedo decirlo? His name is Eduardo. He works en la municipal de Santa Rosa de Lima, ¿verdad? Thank you very much. And Mr. Eduardo, he just says his name. This is the requirements that's listed. And I'm gonna go through that in a minute for you, just so you can have a better idea what does it mean to marry, to get married in El Salvador. If you have, Of course, 2 million people, 2 million Salvadorans live in the United States, mainly in Brentwood, New York, California, Los Angeles is a very large Salvadoran community, of course. Salvador, El Salvador is a country of 6.2 million people, but 2 million are in the United States, mostly in the United States and some in Spain. I believe there are over 50,000 Salvadorans who live in Spain. So let's go through this. This is the official document. It was Mr. Eduardo from the municipality of Santa Rosa Lima was very kind and nice to, to give me this. He didn't want to be on camera to ask, to answer some questions about what is the requirement. But this is the listing of requirements. Let's check it out, and so you can have a better idea what does it mean to marry in Central America, and we can compare the requirements in Honduras and the requirements in El Salvador. So let's take a quick look of these documents so we can have a better idea. And then, so the first thing is, it says requisitos para contraer matrimonio. That translated says that you need to be, the first requirement is that of course you need to have a passport or your ID, national ID card, right? They call it DUI on the second here, and the number 2. DUI is the national identity card. A couple of copies. The next item for this requirement is that you have to have 2 witnesses that are not family members, of course, of neither one of the spouse, neither one of the groom, not the groom or the fiance or the girlfriend. It has to be a total strangers that has that are not related, that are not family members, of course. 2 witnesses. Also, that this is very interesting, that at least know how to read and write in this case, right? And need to be present, of course. These 2 witnesses that are not relatives of yours, I mean, as you marrying your significant other, does need to know how to write and read, of course, and have and perform the signature. The next one here it says that you need to have a document saying that, an affidavit saying that you're single, or that from the National Register's Office that you are single and that you are capable and legally capable of being married. If you're a widow, of course, the same thing. You need to have an affidavit, and of course, in one of the from one of the 10 districts here in the Unión Norte province, which is the part of the San Miguel is part of this province. And the next requirement says that, of course, if the divorce was performed in less than 300 days, right, the woman needs to present a medical affidavit stating that she's not pregnant, which is very interesting, right? That's in compliance with the Family Code of El Salvador. The next following requirement says, of course, if you are a widow or the divorce, like they are restating again, and that you need to have the affidavit of the person, of the deceased person, of course, from the proper municipality. So now that comes the best part, in which is mentioning if you're a foreigner, living in El Salvador, then you need to present your passport, of course, with the proper apostille, and of course they're mentioning here the Foreign Affairs Office Ministry, in which you're gonna need to be stamped. It needs to be stamped, of course, and all this needs to be done with a notarized translation, because El Salvador is a country which the official language is Spanish, so you need to have official legal notarized translation of that document, in which of course you have your passport and that you are legally capable of getting married. Number 8, which is last, I think, there is more here on the back space. Number 8, of course, if you have a child, the child needs to be, let's see, si esto no hubieran sido sentadas por su padre, okay. If you have one of the, the groom or the bride has a child, needs to be stated, of course, on file at the moment of the marriage, that with the proper birth certificate, that that needs to be present in case if the person, of course, if the child is minor, needs to be present at the moment of getting married, of course, and with the proper birth certificate. So we're going to the back of the here the back of the documents of these requirements is the number 9, right? Of course, separation of assets. Yes, that's a prenuptial agreement. Basically, the rest of the half, at least half a page, stay half of this page on the back page of this document, which is an official document from the municipality of Santa Rosa de Lima, province of El Salvador, about the requirements. Very much the same like in Honduras. It doesn't say about the course of the marriage, but there is half of this page is stating about the separation of assets and how this needs to be done. Of course, that's what they call prenup agreement, prenuptial agreement, basically. And let's say number 10 now. Of course, to be able to change, if the person was previously married with someone else, of course, if you want to change the last name, you have to state there at the moment you're getting married that you prefer to be named, or you prefer to have your last name, as is, that you want to preserve your last name. That's what it's trying to say here, that you can use your own last names. Basically, that's what it is. You can use your own last names, and it has to be done at this municipality. Yes, and that there you go. Yes, so it's not like in the States, right? In the U.S., in mainland USA, in which when you marry, right? You can preserve your last name, but most of the time people change to the husband's last name. Like if your husband is John Smith and you are Debbie Parker, of course you're gonna be called Debbie Smith at the end of the of course when you're getting married to your new husband, right? So, and these now they go with the cost of the money, right? The days that the marriage has been performed in this municipality are Mondays and Fridays in office hours, of course, 8 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 8 to 4 for Mondays and Fridays, and you have to reserve your seats, of course, to get married. Also, you bring the two witnesses, of course, and the cost. Now we go with the cost. The cost to perform this marriage is $30. Of course, El Salvador official, currency is the U.S. dollars. Of course, the American dollar is the one that runs. That is the official, currency in El Salvador. So there is no problem with you for changing, to a local currency. Is the American dollar, and it costs $30. Okay, $30, and you pay first. That you pay in advance. They say, of course, you can pay the same day, but in advance, previous to for the marriage to be performed. You pay in advance in the treasurer's office of the municipality, which I think I'm looking at it here. There's a registrar's office, but I think the treasury department, office is way by this door. There's a glass door that I came to here, and I believe so. This is the door you can go, and there's a parking area. There are many other offices where you can just go and do what you need to do to pay those $30. So, well, that's what it is. As I compare the way you marry in El Salvador and in Honduras, of course, are very much the same. Of course, I was telling you about that you pay only $14 in Honduras, in Tegucigalpa. In this province, I thought the province in El Salvador is a little cheaper, but it's not. In the case of in Honduras, if you marry in the provinces, definitely it's cheaper. Everything cheaper in any of the provinces. Even if you're looking for a small town or any small municipality, it's even easier. Even though the requirements are the same, but things are, it's faster. It's faster because I did one small municipality when I married myself, and it was fast and easier. I mean, the arrangements are, very quick, fast, and properly done. I mean, so that was my experience. And of course, by talking to different other people, their experience has been similar experiences. So very much, that's what is the requirements, in which I didn't notice that much of difference. Just in the case of if you have children, if the person you're marrying is a single mom, you need to present, a birth certificate of that person, that child, and the child needs to be present. Two witnesses that doesn't have to be. In my case, my two witnesses were relatives of my wife. So, they were my relatives, but there is no requirement in Honduras that the two witnesses that are present at the ceremony needs to be a total strangers. That doesn't, in my case, there was no requirement for that. So the two witnesses were relative of my wife, my current wife. So they were relatives, and it's legal, definitely legal. But in El Salvador, of course, they have a very different requirement in that case, and the cost, of course, is $30, and which is still less than $50, and very much they have similar requirements. And there was a section for a foreign-born person, as if you're like an expat coming to get married in El Salvador, of course. And I added that definitely is very important, as you bring all these the apostle from the county clerk of your county where you live. Once you arrive here, everything translated, notarized translation of all the documents, and are definitely valid passports. It doesn't mention here about blood testing, especially for infectious disease. But there is one of the requirements was about blood testing, but doesn't mention anything about infectious disease. So let's say if somebody has a COVID or HIV or something, it doesn't mention anything about that. But in the case of Honduras, it does mention that in case if there is the blood testing is definitely for HIV or any infectious disease. So it's very specific in the case of Honduras. In El Salvador, there's no mention about infectious disease; it just states about blood testing. But in any case, it's good to have talk to people if you come to get married in any of these two countries, El Salvador or Honduras. It's good to have a little more with people who has boots in the ground. I would say that you get the extra additional information, so everything moves smooth and hopefully everything goes well. But thanks guys for watching, and see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and like this video if you like this comment. Thanks a lot, take care, and see you in the next video from the municipality of Santa Rosa de Lima in the province of San Miguel, El Salvador. Take care and so long.